Welcome back, Kane's Corner. For the Minifans that have a sense of humor, listen. I hope you're here. Been a crazy kind of couple hours, actually. Just a lot of hate. A lot of people that just are miserable. They don't like Menners back in the big seat. Cinema Lords, Pat Ford. I haven't heard from John much, but just a bunch of people that are just criticizing, I guess, the move, but we don't even know if it's official yet. So I'm not really sure what they're all upset about. It's not really that big of a deal. Manners is a good leader, a great leader. John is not. I made the point the other day that if the roles were reversed and John was in charge of the Minifan network and his only asset was Kane is able, and Menners had the other network would be flourishing, the other one would be dead. I mean, that's just a fact. So that's gives credence to how good Menners is. He's able to keep a network going with really nobody putting any, just a few people contributing. So just a humorless bunch of people. Cinema Lords, coming on and making a point that, his show had 1,000 viewers. A good show. Surviving Barstool show was excellent. A recap. But he leaves out the fact that your numbers aren't anywhere near Menners' numbers. I mean, I don't know what you're fucking trying to say. You're not as entertaining as him, not even fucking close. So I don't understand the flex. He's making the point, the one show he did, but the other, if you look at the other 20 that he did, they don't compare at all in the numbers. Menners just does better numbers. If you want to talk about numbers, if that matters to you, it doesn't to me. I've been criticized for that. Don the Jeweler busted my balls. But again, if I really give a fuck about numbers, Don, I would have went to the other network. He gave me the option. I decided not to do it. I mean, I'm fine with what I'm doing. I enjoy doing the shows. I got people in the troll chat that are saying I won't show up to Laconia. It's like, why wouldn't I? Of course I'll be there. I've offered people to, if they have a problem, they can meet me tomorrow. I'll be in Warren, and you don't want to show up, then don't. I don't really understand. These guys are the biggest bunch of fucking losers that's ever walked the face of the earth. I mean, just a bunch of fucking clowns. They have nothing else to do but to stir up bullshit, cause trouble. People have just lost their sense of humor. Jackson from Australia. Yesterday's Aussie Minifan show. Jamie's a great guy. I'm a big Jamie guy, and Manners is what he is. I mean, he's going to come on. He's going to bring you the numbers. People are watching for Manners. Jackson has lost his way. Criticizing everybody, no jokes, brings nothing to the fucking table. Just a fucking humorless fuck. I couldn't believe how humorless this guy has become. It is sad for him. He just has no personality. He's not bringing anything to the table anymore. He's calling out Menners' network, and it's like, well, don't you understand how stupid you sound? One network was promoted by Kirk, and all those guys went to that network, and one other network has about 3 people that do it. I mean, obviously, if you switch the roles again, the numbers would be the other network would be thriving. That's my point. It's just a sad day of events for these fucking humorless pricks, Pat Fords, these guys that just don't give a fuck, just don't get what Menners is trying to do. We're trying to build a great network. I got to bring Menners on now. Hold on, I'm going to bring in Phil too. Let's bring him in. Minifan Phil's here. We're bringing him in, and Menners is here. Finally awake. How you feeling?
I'm doing really well. I know you didn't invite me on your show, but
that's
one
okay.
Thing about you using my StreamYard account is I could just jump on. G'day, Phil.
I don't mind.
Hey, what's going on, bud? How are you?
Man, you've got one of the most beautiful beards in the Minifan world.
Yeah,
Thank you. Guy. I appreciate that.
It's so fucking thick, and you've just got no hair on top. It's incredible.
Yeah. I wish I had hair on top, but I'll take the beard.
If I do the Turkish hair transplant, I might need to take you with me.
Yeah,
you can donate.
I'm down. Definitely need it. That's for sure.
What's up, Menners?
I just wanted to jump on.
You got something to say, or?
Well, I wanted to thank you for keeping up the stellar run this network is on. We're providing content for the 4th night in a row. It could be 5. I'm thinking of doing a New Year's Eve show. So, the Menners Minifan network is, doing great. And you're doing great too, Kane. And I saw you jump in with Cinema today. So for those that aren't on Twitter, Cinema was upset that I made a comment about the lack of views for his shows. And he pointed out that his Surviving Barstool recap had a number of views, and congratulations, he got 1,000 views. Wonderful for cinema, probably the most views he's ever got for anything he's ever done. So clap, clap, clap. But, the Surviving Barstool is a great idea. It's a great idea to do a recap. He filled the gap, and I'm glad it's doing well. His other show that he does, way more regularly, unfortunately, has not had quite the engagement that has. But, I'm a cinema guy. I went in. He will attest to this. I said to the producers, cinema is a once-a-month guy in the studio. Book him in. So I'm not going to get into a fight with cinema. All I'm saying is, and Phil, you got to admit, it's a soft Minifan of the year. Like, there was no standout this year. This is like the nice guy award, and cinema is a nice guy unless you're his girlfriend's ex.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't understand the hate in between the shows and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just very, very strange. Like, I just don't know if it's a dick measuring contest or what the deal is. You know what I mean? Like Kane was kind of saying in the intro there. A lot of this stuff I don't know about just because I don't have the opportunity to watch every single show or keep track of a lot of the, the fights between the two different networks and stuff. But from what I understand, aren't you guys combining into one network?
Absolutely.
Now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I've taken the high road with cinema. I don't want to get into a dick measuring contest. And just sort of to explain what you were saying about you don't really understand it, I would say it's quite simple. Kirk Minahan has brought together thousands of very miserable people that have, a range from, just slight mental illness to a lot. And, every Minifan probably fits in there somewhere. So when you put that cocktail together, this is what happens.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. That's for sure.
The thing, though, I don't understand from cinema. I mean, he really does care about the views. So if you care about the views, you probably want somebody to come in and help you with that. That's something Manners can do. He's going to promote your show better than John would. His show is not, I know you were busting balls. I've watched it a few times. It's actually well done. He does a good show. If you don't like that content, I understand that, but like his show should do better numbers. I mean, he had Jeff D. Lowe on, only did 500 views, which was shocking. That's what fucking Face the Facts gets. And that's on John. That's what these guys just don't understand. He's not a CEO. It's okay. He's just not able to do it. Just embrace Manners. Your shows are going to be better. They're going to be promoted better. And they may make it on the main show a little more. I don't know.
Kane, what do you think about Timothy Fax's idea? So, I was made to sort of have egg on my face because I was there reacting to Fax saying what a loser he was, and he is. More Fax news to come, but he suggested that all network content move back to this network, the Manners Minifan network. So it has some delineation. The shows come off the main channel. Here they can sit by themselves. They're easy to find. They can be promoted. What do you think of that idea?
Well, first off, where'd you get that picture from? That was a sneaky move by you last night. I mean, I even got called out by Nurse Kim. She said I looked good. I mean, I didn't want to say that Jackson said she should probably lose 30 pounds. I don't want to bring that up, but where'd you get it?
Well, you don't read your messages. I sent you a link to a certain article that you were featured in.
I know. I saw the article. I know that. I know that's where you got it. But somebody had to have sent that to you. I mean, I know how these guys operate.
No.
You're not working with Don.
So I know your first name. Your first name. And you have used your Gmail to access this stream out.
That's true.
I also know your last name. So I was able to, Google search those together.
Two. Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah,
work.
Not hard. Not hard. And I think I did a really good job. Like from that photo, no one's going to be able to sort of find anything. But you have said where you've worked. But you're a cute little guy.
That's right.
Cute little guy.
What did you think about Jackson's performance yesterday? I mean, honestly, like what is going on?
Just go back though. Answer my question. Do you think it's a good idea for all the shows to move across?
I don't think so. I think there's people on there that want those views. Cinema Lodge is probably a good example of they like going on there to get a little more promotion. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think the views mean anything because what happens
they don't mean anything. I agree.
No, but it's just people scrolling past. Like I don't think actually people are watching it. Like on YouTube, you can watch something for I don't even think it's like watch it for 30 seconds and then that's a view.
Yeah.
So I think people just see it on Kirk's channel, might click on it thinking it's KMS or something worth listening to, and then they turn it off. Whereas, content on Mena's Minifan Network, it's a destination.
I just
it's a
think like
destination network.
A bunch of these people are just not going to want your name on there and them going on. I mean, they've shown it already. They're flipping out. Mick.
I would consider changing the name back to the Kirk Minahan Network if that's what Kirk wanted. Like,
Robbie V. These guys aren't going to want to do it on your spot. I guess you got to change the name or whatever you got to do. But for some reason, they don't like to be, talked to about anything. Just a little bit of razzing and freaking out. I mean, I thought that was an odd tweet today by Cinema. I mean, just a weird, like they just stick together. I know how it is. They all stick together. They got this little clan, 4 or 5 guys that just suck each other off, and that's fine. It is what it is. I think at the end of the day, like you should just want the guy who's going to promote your show and do the best job. That's what should matter. I don't think that matters to them. So
no. So okay, well, look, I think the way that's going to work is, as I've said, and I've said it many times, people, Tim, that fucking idiot, keeps messaging me what's going on with the 2 networks. I've said many times when the holidays are over, I'll be reaching out to Justin, Kirk, and see what they want. Maybe Kirk says, you know exactly. What? Maybe Kirk says, look, if you are going to unify the networks, I would like everything on the Mena's Minifan Network. And then maybe we can look at changing the name to the Minifan Network or the Minifan Network by Mena's or just whatever. There's all these options. So I'm a team guy. I've said it. This union is all about, hearts joining, love. It's about, it's a new era of network content.
So I did want to ask you while you're here. I thought it was kind of odd that you want to change Freddie's name. I think was that a joke, or are you serious that you really want to rebrand his own show? It seems a little aggressive.
So I have an update on this. Okay. I have reached out to Blind Mike, and I'll read you the message I've sent. As I said, Kane, I would like to. I think that would be sensible, but for some reason, Freddie is scared of having that extra pressure on him because all of a sudden, when it's called Mike and the Minifans, maybe the expectations go up. And Freddie does a good show, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter to me what the name is. It'll sort of be implicitly promoted as Mike and the Minifans moving forward because it is now the premier wrap-up show. But I sent this message to Blind Mike overnight. Happy holidays, legend. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we have made the difficult decision to axe Mike and the Minifans for the foreseeable future. John and his team destroyed the show. Perhaps down the track, it can be reborn. Fireside Chat, a.k.a. Freddie and the Minifans, will be the replacement. And Blind Mike is in total agreement that I had no choice to axe it. So
okay,
whether it's called, it's going to, whatever it is, I'm just going to refer to it as Freddie and the Minifans.
It's okay. So that's just going to be your stance here. You're just going to do that, and
it's going to be my funny joke to annoy Freddie.
So Jackson last night on the show, have you noticed his sense of humor is just about gone at this time? I don't understand. He's been kind of raffing on you for a little while here, kind of being like, I don't understand what you're doing. Why are you doing shows? Like, you're doing shows for the Minifans. He can't even get a fucking show up. Him and that other retard can't even do a fucking show. I find it odd that he's criticizing you about your output when he can't even put a show together. I mean, it just sounds, he just what has happened to this guy? Is there another Aussie that can replace him? Because I think it is almost necessary at this point to replace this guy.
There probably are a few Aussies actually that could replace him. Daz, if you're watching.
Yeah, they had a guy on the other day. I saw it. Was it Jackson's cousin or something? Let's put him on.
That was terrible. They were talking about circumcisions. Just the worst segment in podcast history.
He has a sense of humor. Jesus.
Jackson's a great guy. I don't know what he's talking about.
Is he just getting dog walked by his girlfriend right now and it's just getting him a little grumpy because she is fucking controlling the show, isn't it? Is he married yet, or you know what I mean? Like, I was asked today to go to watch Moana 2, and I said no, Jackson. Can you do that? Can you?
He's off to meet the family. He's meeting the family.
Man.
Oh, he's done
already.
Yeah, he's done for.
Sad.
I always like Jackson too. I don't
feel you can imagine he doesn't have a great choice of ladies, so he's got to grab this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. No, he's a good dude. I don't know what's going on with him. Usually when people act that way and it's kind of uncharacteristic, usually there's like something else going on and behind the scenes and kind of like taking it
He's
out
a
on
little
other
jealous
people.
of Manners. I mean, that's
You
been
think so?
there. Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit. I think there's a
It's
little bit
also
of that. Yeah.
it's also plays to the crowd.
Okay.
What a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Minifans
true.
do, and I've been in the mix for a long time, so I've seen
Yep.
it many times. Is they take shots at me because it gets applause from the seagulls, as our friend Steve from Gloucester would
yeah.
say. So that's what Jackson does. It's a cheap way of getting an ego boost, but most of these people that do that DM me, fawning love for everything I do. So I
It's
just
nice
take it
having
in
the
a light
comments
spirit.
off. It's a lot easier.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because
learned.
especially when you first, so you first start out too, you can one
Oh.
comment can get you sidetracked, and
imagine
then you
what
don't
they
know what
say.
you're talking about, and
Because
then you're just fighting
this
these
was
people in the comments.
this is Kane when I was trying to talk to him the other day.
I was on coke. Give me a break.
Yeah. Well,
That was bad. I was bad.
You
I actually
were?
watched
What?
back and saw the fucking pause, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm surprised you didn't snap. That was bad. I learned. I'm learning. So
don't
anything
do
else
coke
for
on a
Phil?
podcast.
I'm gonna catch up with Phil a little bit here. I know he's basketball's over. You kind of disappeared. What happened, Phil? You didn't. You were so close to making some impact and kind of just disappeared.
Yeah, I had a mental health break actually shortly after
Shit.
basketball season ended. So that's
There we go. Point proved.
yeah.
You just
Yeah.
proved my point
I
not
almost
long
said
ago.
something when you mentioned that point earlier. I'm like, oh, that's 100% true because I'm like that too. But yeah, I just had to take a break from all social media and stuff like that. Get my mind right, and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically where I've been, just kind of getting healthy and back to normal or some sort of normal. I don't think any of us are normal, but just functioning and with medication, the support of my family and my faith and all that. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better now. So I'm back in the mix, ready to talk about Minifan stuff and enjoying the show. Obviously, I think the biggest thing right now is Gus Watch 2024. I think I have a timer right now. 3 hours, 42 minutes, 48 seconds until we find out whether or not he actually drops that.
BA asked me if we're doing the pre-show for the New Year's Eve release, and like I said to him, it's a dumb question because I don't think anything's going to come out. I really don't believe he's going to release a fucking single thing. I'm just going to stick with Menner's point. Like, why would we believe anything else? We are now at 12:30, right? It's December 30th, 8:17, and there is nothing. He says he's going to be out by midnight on 12:31, which when it doesn't happen, I just wonder what the next phase is going to be. Is it going to finally be because Kirk said he's doing 2 shows. He's doing Thursday, Friday show. And he's doing 5 shows the following week, which good news for us, I guess. But
so when's he doing the next show? Sorry, when did you say he was?
He said Thursday.
Okay, excellent.
So we are here on. I mean, I don't think the best stuff might not be out before the show starts, which would be just on brand for Augustus. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I agree. I think, just based off history, based off what he's done so far or not done or said he's going to do things, he's done this every single time. So I don't expect anything at all. And if we do get anything, it's not going to be up to anyone's standard or anything anyone is going to be enjoyable. It's going to be, I hate to say this, but half-assed or big, huge silences, or, it's not going to be right. So that's what I expect. But, who knows? She could shock the world, but I doubt it.
When do we think the first day that it actually started? When he actually started the process of putting this together?
3 days
this
ago.
week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he might have done a little bit when he was still hired. After he messed up, he probably did a couple days. But between that point and we'll say a week ago, I bet he did no work in between. My guess.
Yeah, and I mean, Ducks now has put out 2 different ones.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah. Even the wife said something about that. She was like, "Oh, this other guy can put out a best of in a day, while Gus is still working on the one." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Not wrong at all." So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I would be shocked if there was actually something out.
So where do you feel like the state of the show is at this point? You've been watching now the whole year. We're going into a new year. You happy with the producers? I know us on the show. I mean, we criticize Dave quite a bit. I feel like Justin's kind of gone down since Dave's gotten there. What's your take on that?
I mean, I always love the show. It's always fun and entertaining. Kirk makes the best out of whatever situation's in there. Even with when Coleman was in there, Coleman did some dumb things, but Kirk made gold out of that. So Kirk can make anybody entertaining and anything, any type of situation, any guest entertaining. So I think the show's been good. Since Dave came on, I think it's definitely a little different. I mean, I think there's been some good moments as far as laughable moments, not necessarily anything like he's doing special or anything. It's just more of like Justin being Justin. Dave, I feel like is definitely more focused on the case. He might not want to hear that, but I think he definitely is, especially when the TV aspect starts coming into it. You can really tell that Dave likes that part of it, or the Netflix stuff that they're hinting at, or Hulu and all these different things that they're doing behind the scenes with the case. I don't know any of those things, but just based on what they say on air, it seems like they're talking to different networks and different streaming services for something big with the case next year. So I feel like Dave is probably more focused on that, and I think Kirk rightly is which I think would be better for Dave and for the show. Now, I still like Dave on the show. I still think Dave can be entertaining. I think they're getting better with the topics. In the beginning, they weren't as good. Obviously, Kirk was very critical of them with topics and stuff. Still kind of is really, but
yeah, I mean, they're still not doing a great job with
not
that.
great. I mean, I would like to hear them talk about Barstool Survivor more. I'm surprised they don't bring that up more, because that's what I would be bringing up, because it's Barstool content and it's very entertaining. Kirk's on it, and especially since Kirk's on it so much and he's a huge part of the show, very entertaining part of the show. I'd like to hear more about that throughout the show.
Well, most of us like Barstool Surviving. I mean, we got a guy on the panel right now that doesn't. But
you don't like it? Manners doesn't like it.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed this season more than last season, or
me? I enjoy. I feel like so far, I feel like last season was better up until this point, but I feel like something's going to drop soon, just based on the way Kirk was pumping it up prior to the season starting. I feel like there is something coming down the pipeline storyline wise that's going to be a oh my god moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, when Kirk found that idol at the end of the last episode, I was like, let's go. I was super pumped about that. So I'm excited. I think there's going to be someone's going to betray somebody. And
I got an important question to ask you though. Did you watch the recap from Cinema Lords? Did you watch it?
Sorry, Cinema Lords, I did not watch it, so I'm not one of the 1,000 people.
I'll jump on there and
I'll go watch it.
Get on there so we can at least feel comfortable that you've seen it. It's very important. Everybody's watching his show. So
yeah, I mean, great idea on his part. Like, I can't believe no one thought of that, because it's such a great show. A lot of people are interested in it, including Minifan. So it's like, jump on that opportunity. Why not?
Yeah, it's probably kind of what drove people to watch the show, I would think. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure they went there for cinema, but I was thinking it probably went because there was just a Barstool recap that nobody's done. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I'm glad he's bragging about his 1,000 views. It's very important to him. I mean, if Menners put a show out with Jeff D. Lowe or any of those other shows on the other network, he'd do about 2,000. But I don't know. I thought it was still just kind of baffled by his. I don't know. I didn't understand it. He's a complicated guy. He rips everybody, calls everybody boring, and goes on the show and really brings nothing to it. So I don't know. So far, what do you think?
Speaking of boring people, facts. Great news. Great news. I got to give. Firstly, I want to give my good friend Sneakers credit. He sniffed out Timothy Facts so quickly.
That's true.
Sneakers is a lot of things, but he does have a good instinct for these people that come in and try and use the show. But anyway, so Facts is retired from the network. Both networks.
Really.
Yeah.
So can you explain that exactly how that looks? It seemed like a joke from you, but it's a real thing.
No. So obviously, he's just. Look, I reached out to Facts, and behind the scenes, I do have a big heart. I know I don't come across that way, but I gave Facts some advice. Firstly, I said, face the facts just sucks. Like, you just cannot go on there by yourself and talk. So I suggested to him, you do a sports show with your friend. Do you want to bring that to a network? Because look, if Josh does his stupid sports show, Timeout Talks, and he doesn't even listen to KMS. We know that. So, if he wanted to do a sports show with his mate, I said, maybe that'd be better than you just rambling with your stupid orange hair into a fucking camera. And he said, no, I've decided to just take a break from doing any network content. He will only go on as a guest. So I think Cinema's going to book him for the Bear season 3 recap or whatever it is, season 4, which is fine. And that's really good. I think Face the Facts is terrible. Fax did his best hosting Mike and the Minifans. Probably, that show's gone. Not really to do with him. He was probably a victim there of, working with a pretty substandard team. But yeah, so he's retired, which is great.
Sad story. Why is he retiring? I don't understand. Like, that
is sad.
Terrible people on the network. Like, none of us are great.
No. This is a good thing. Like, he has annoyed Kirk. Once you start annoying Kirk, you better off.
I don't know what that is. I mean, don't you just keep going and going and going and point of course? I mean, he shouldn't be doing Mike and the Minifans alone.
Yeah, but he's an attention-seeking whore. He's an attention-seeking whore who wants to be a character on Barstool. He said it in his fucking show last night. He said, basically he thought going up to Watertown and being there would get him on the show. Like, Kirk's just going to wave, in fact, you come in here, mate. Come in and join me, Tim. Like, Kirk's going to do that. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I feel bad for the guy. I think I don't know. I thought that ambition is, he wants to do it. I get it. It's not the right way to do it. If you're going to be an intern in that show, you're going to be behind the scenes. That's just how it is, right? So, I always thought the interns were kind of there to eventually be part of the show. But I guess if you've already know who Fax is and you don't think that's a possibility, then I guess it's pointless to have him as an intern. I don't know. I just think
it's a tough move. Yeah.
Him quitting on his show, though, is a bad sign for him. Like, you don't want to do that, Fax. I'm going to give you some great advice right now. Manners is dog walking you off the show. That's fine. Those guys in the chat are winning when you don't do your fucking show. They're winning.
Kane,
but they're winning. They're winning. They're beating him down.
We often disagree.
He's quitting.
No, we are winning. We are winning not to have his content. Like, it's just him blabbering into a camera. Like, he's not right for Face the Facts. As I said to him, if you want to do a show, do a sports show. But
well, he does one now, right? Does he put it on the network? I don't watch it, so I don't know.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to. I said we should. I offered to him. I reached out to look. Let's put it on the network, and that can be your way of doing content. And hey, maybe someone from Barstool does see it and think I'm never going to hire this guy, but at least you tried.
Yeah, it's a mistake. I mean, it's a mistake to run away. I wouldn't listen if I was him, but I guess that's why we're different. But I'm dumb enough to keep going, and I guess he's maybe a little smarter and kind of going to recycle and figure out what he's actually wants to do. If you're going to go sports, right? I never felt like he was a true fan of the show. I mean, he never felt that way. So it's fine. But I just thought, like, if you're gonna, I think it happens. It happens with these guys. I know last week or 2 weeks ago on Freddie's the chat show, Fireside Chat. BioDude was going to come on. Freddie had reached out to us and was trying to break it into segments. So he told me that I was going to come on for the first segment or two. Then he's going to take me off and bring me back on. Then all of a sudden, all of a sudden he's like, nah, never mind. We're all going to come on. And then I saw a tweet from Sig saying that BioDude, he was complaining that BioDude wasn't going to be on the whole show. And I think Freddie may have just changed the show just for listening to the Twitter crowd. And again, like, not good. You know what I mean? I don't care what you do, Freddie, but I just thought that was like, if you're going to listen to those guys and let those guys dictate what you're going to do, you're going to be in big trouble. So again, I'll take your advice, Manners, but personally, I think Fax running away is just a fucked up move. I mean, unless he has some, I don't know, you want to get under the mental health guys and go that way, that's fine, I guess, but bad decision for him. But
it gives him one less person to make fun of. But anyway, I think I'm right. You're wrong on this one.
That's all right.
Was he actually going to move to Massachusetts? Was that true?
No, what he was going to do was he was going to drive up. So the show is mainly sort of Monday to Thursday, right? So he was going to drive up, leave Sunday afternoon, drive through the night, be there for Monday. And we know this is true. He can sleep anywhere. So I think he was just going to sleep in his truck. So sleep in his truck Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, do the show Thursday, and then probably just jump back in the truck and drive back down to the family, which is, So I think that's what he was going to do. He said he had a place to stay, but I mean, we all saw that sleeping in the studio. The guy would be comfortable in the truck. I mean, if you can sleep in the studio,
Yeah, I think it's a wild move to sleep in the studio, but that's just me. I
It
thought
was
that
gonna
was
be
great.
yeah, that was weird.
I thought that was a bold move, personally. But yeah, I don't know. I always like Fax. I was on a couple Mike and the Minifans with him. He seemed like a nice enough guy. So
He's a
I mean,
lovely guy.
yeah,
A lovely guy.
I hope he's doing well. I hope it's not because people have got to him and he has to like stop because of that. But I mean, if he wants to do a show, he should do a show, or whatever show he wants. And like you said, Kane, you can't let people like stop you from doing what you want to do, or listen to what other people say, because just like a lot of people listen to Twitter, and it's like Twitter's only what 20% of an audience, or you know what I mean. So like you can't go based off comments, so it's only a
But sometimes
fraction
you
of
have
the
a
people.
meltdown. Like sometimes you get
Yeah.
caught in this cycle,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and
It's
the only
easy.
way to break the cycle is to step back, like you did. You step
Yeah.
back off social
Yep.
media, you breathe, and then you come back better than ever. I did it a
Yep.
long time ago. I know people will not believe me, but there was, a time, I can't remember what it was, maybe 2021, where I, just took a step back, didn't do stuff for a while, and it can be refreshing. And
You're a lot
I think,
happier, I'm sure.
yes, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's
I'm
a happy place.
actually really doing these shows makes me happy. Doing these
I
shows
know.
makes me happy.
It's kind of like a drug.
Being
in
with
a
you,
way.
Kane, makes me happy.
I love the people that they just don't want you on, so you just keep coming on. I mean, that's a motivational thing for me. That's again, I've gotten criticized for wanting clout. Like BA is another one who's like, you care about, if you go on YouTube, you only care about clout, but it's like, I don't care about the views. If I did, I would jump ship right now. I mean, I was offered, I would have done it. I don't want to do it. I don't care about that. I like working with Manners. So I've been loyal. I'm gonna stick with it. I just think these guys are, and again, has Mick reached out to you at all about his episode the other night? That was concerning. Guy is fucking losing his shit.
Yeah, I'll be in touch with Mick. Don't worry. I'm gonna, as I said, I want to confirm a few things with the big man, and when that's all confirmed, we'll make some moves.
That's true. He's a special case. I mean, he's under Kirk's wings. You got everything you need that you want to talk about Mick. You got to clear with Kirk, and it's a sad statement for Mick. He doesn't have his own voice. He's, Kirk kind of tells him what he's going to do, and he kind of goes along with it. And it's sad. I just don't understand the hatred. I haven't figured it out. I don't. What is there something that I'm missing? Maybe I am because I didn't listen to the early content on the networks. But did something happen overall where it was like a big something that really happened where all these guys just don't want to work with you?
You have to ask them, Kane.
I guess. Yeah. I didn't know if there was
nothing in particular. I think some people get intimidated by my talent.
Yeah, maybe.
Some people don't like being given direction. Yeah, you'd have to ask them. But I think overall, most people are happy to work with me. Like, if you look at all the content across all the shows,
yep,
most people are happy to work with me. I think Mick's original problem was he wanted to be able to go live on the main channel by himself.
Yeah,
I think
he didn't want to go through Joe the Actor. That was it. Was
yeah.
Yes, so stems from that, I guess. He's just I don't know.
That's surprising. I mean, because that's like well, then again, it is like Mick. He for whatever reason he does this. He'll just like find the smallest thing and hold it against.
I mean, he's a complete disappointment. I mean, he's got real talent. And
he quit. He quit on the basketball team. Like I'm a Mick guy. I like Mick. I can't like the not working with Justin thing is crazy. But then he got back at Justin because then now Justin looks like the crazy person now.
Sure.
So he won that battle, but like he just continually almost seems like he self-sabotages himself to a certain
seems like it.
Yeah, like with every single thing he does.
It's fact at this point.
Yeah. And
I don't grow up. I mean, he's an uncle now. Big shoes to fill. You gotta step up, and I hope he ends up on the show. I mean, I hope he can get past his differences with Justin and work. Just a sad case for a guy that has that talent. Too bad.
What I don't understand is, and I hope this is not Justin being petty, but when I handed over the third chair, I had in principle agreement that Mick would go into studio once a month, even though he couldn't stand Justin. I'd managed to broker a peace deal where he would still go in as a third chair once a month, but hasn't happened.
No, he's not. And he obviously will be in. I mean, he's a cloud chasing whore, so he'll be in there. But yeah, I don't know. He's he fucked up on the he completely lied about the Soto thing and made it up, and he's still trying to rebound from that. I mean, he got his Twitter follows up, and good for him. But I mean, it was a complete bullshit story. I mean, he had maybe had something in the works, but it was completely wrong. I mean, I don't think anybody could deny that. So really, it's unfortunate. I mean, I said the other day, anybody that brings a Great Dane to a Christmas party is an asshole. I'm starting to side with brother Al here, and I don't want to do it. And I like Mick, but that is an asshole move. I don't know if you've seen that sucker, but it's a big ass dog. That is a wild move, and he hasn't really discussed it because he hasn't done a fucking podcast in a month. So I mean, I'd like to hear, but he doesn't want to put out shows. He's addicted to doing podcasting. He doesn't do anything. So I'm not really sure what his plan is. I'm hoping for a big year because Mick is, when Mick is good, very entertaining. But
I'm going to go in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to go and let you guys close the show. But I've got a question for both of you. I'll start with you, Philip. Sort of look, sort of after the Aussie Minifan show, I started to reflect on the year of KMS. And look, every year is a great year in the KMS world. But I sort of think if you're looking at highs and lows, 2023 was a higher high. We had the thriving network at that stage. We had, I shouldn't put that first. That's very self-indulgent but we had the producer search. We had so much in 2023 that I thought, was so engaging. The show was at an all-time high. And it's not like this year's a down year, but it's down in compared to 2023.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to compare year to year, but I mean, the producer search was so big and so huge and a huge part of the show. So it's really difficult to like measure the years, but I mean, I would say this year what I liked the most was probably the basketball season. I thought there was some pretty cool, awesome moments in the basketball team. Yeah, but
that's convenient for you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, but I don't know. I think it's very difficult to compare years, but I think overall I enjoyed this year. 2023 like you said, might have had some higher highs during the year, but I think this year was kind of steady throughout. And I think in the beginning of the year, even with the new producers and the anger with the new producers, especially with Gus, for me personally anyway, in the beginning of the year with Gus, really brought down the show because like it was just like every few days Gus was messing something else up, and it was just like, and it would ruin the shows kind of.
It was kind of cruel, Phil. You seem like you've got a big heart, man of faith. It was kind of cruel what Kirk did to Gus. Like you either you say to Gus, "You're fucking hopeless. Get out. You're fired," rather than pushing him to breaking point to quit.
When you go back and re-listen, it's pretty fucking bad. It's fucking shit all over him. It was
and Gus should have quit well before that stuff happened. But yeah, that was hard. It was a very hard listen for sure.
That's one way to take it. I mean, obviously, Kirk could have just fired the guy and not fucking put him all through that shit too. So I guess it's two ways to look at it. But
it was the year of the coal man. Thank you, Roscoe. I think 2024 was the year of the coal man, and I think after that, things flattened out when Cullinane came back.
Yeah. Yes, and Coleman quitting was such a surprise too. I really didn't think he was going to do that, and then once he did, I was like, oh, he's really going to quit. And even when Kirk announced the new producer back, part of me thought, I fell for the bait, but part of me thought that Coleman would be coming back. But it wasn't Coleman, it was, Cullinane. So, I think that really threw a wrench into this year for sure. Coleman leaving the show was definitely like a huge
unfairly.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, rightly or wrongly, he was a big part of the show for sure. And, just him being dumb, like the Jim Tomey stuff or, all that kind of stuff, the bad topics, almost painfully bad,
the obsession with Alex Bennett.
Yep, exactly. All that stuff. I like Coleman personally. I thought he was funny. Not that he's a funny guy, but just some of the things he said made him funny just because he was so dumb sometimes. So overall,
he was also very helpful behind the scenes. He was a very nice, very responsive, sweet guy. Would it surprise you that I message him, sort of once a month and just say, "Miss you, buddy"?
I believe it. And also, I mean, when you really break it down, I mean, like you said, kind of got fired for not going to work on a Saturday, which was Still pretty crazy. I mean, Jeff D'Lo has fucking fingers in there too, egging on Justin to just leave. And hey, whatever, he didn't wake up. It's on him. I'm not saying it's not on him. It is. That was kind of fucked up. And then Kirk being like, well, I didn't even told him to quit. Well, you basically said for the shows that he wasn't there that you just wanted him to quit. And we know how that is. If you don't want to be there, he shouldn't have. Should have stuck it out. I mean, we'd be better off right now. But
yeah.
I thought 23 was better than 24 overall. I mean, I would say that. 24 was a fun, interesting year. Different things going on, but 23 I thought it was a little better. But overall.
Yeah. We had some good third chairs in this year, though, and it was a funny year. I mean, some of the funniest moments of this year. Okay, well, obviously, and my good friend Jamie brought it up yesterday, but the Teen Titans. I know that's a recent thing, but that was hilarious. Also, the whole Mama K bit, the whole Mama K bit, the fact.
Oh my God, 9/11. Yeah.
You should get Minifan of the year just for getting her on and to get her to. Say all that dumb shit on this network.
Good audio.
There was so much fun. There was a lot of fun this year.
Yep.
It was a fun year.
It was enjoyable. Hopefully this year we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Justin becoming a producer too was big. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That was a big moment. I enjoyed it. I put out a video halfway crying.
Yeah.
So it's just a good time.
No, for sure. And Justin's provided a lot of good content since he's been a producer on the show. Too, like you said with the what you just said there, Manners, is a prime example of that.
Yeah, he's slipped off a bit in the last few months. I'm hoping that's. And I'm kind of not joking. I do think the football season does something to him. He tends to lose focus. He gets hammered every weekend, and dead serious. If you suffer with depression, alcohol can accentuate that. And that's not, I hate to bring the tone down, but
those are just
if you're going to get
facts,
blasted on a Sunday,
yeah.
it's no surprise you might not be quite punchy and upbeat for the rest of the week. You're probably a little flat until you can start drinking the beers again. So, look, that he's a young guy. At his age, I was the same. I was drinking,
exactly.
Doing.
You don't get hurt as much when you're that age either. You can handle it better. At our age, you get drunk like that, you're feeling it for days, but. Yeah, I think you can recover a little quicker.
And Kane, one more thing. Steve from Gloucester. I know he's one of your favorites.
He sent me a DM today. I wished him Merry Christmas. He finally got back to me.
An amusing year for him. It started with the dance with Casey, an all-time life high, very amusing. And then we had the thing where he was caught, spilling the beans, Montante style. And then he came back late in the year. I mean, how do you sort of look back on your mate's year?
It should have been a lot better. It's a disappointing year for him. You start off where you start off and where you end is kind of the telltale sign of who you are. I mean, look at Pat Ford. That's a great example of somebody that was doing well and turned into absolute dog shit. So, I mean, Steve had a better year than Pat. I mean, almost everybody had a better year than Pat.
It must have been really tough for Kirk to pick between Pat Ford and David from Hull for most disappointing Minifan of the year. I mean, that kind of been much in that one.
I'd say, I don't know. Pat could have won a lot of awards. He had a bad year. I mean, it is what it is. And so, that part of it is fantastic. So, but Steve he finished off. Unfortunately, he kind of lost that momentum, and then coming in for one episode, it's hard to build it back. So, hopefully next year he gets in more. He seems pretty up for it, but no consistency podcast has been coming out, which is sad. When I found out it was all scripted, that really made me very happy. It's just scripting a fucking podcast. He's a crazy guy, man. I enjoy him. So, I'm hoping for a big year, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah, and people say I hold grudges, I'm an asshole, whatever. But Steve and I have had our differences. Who booked him in? Who brought him back? Who put all that aside in the hope that it would benefit the Minifans? And my friend Kane. I did it for you, Kane.
That's right. Well, I appreciate it. All right, you all done, Menners?
Yeah, I'm all done. You guys have a great show. Sorry for jumping in and taking over.
No worries.
Bye, Phil. Thanks for jumping on the network.
Absolutely, man. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Good night, Manners. Or good morning, good afternoon, whatever. All right. I got Brandon who wants to come on too. The thing about this guy drives me nuts. He's Brandon from Connecticut. Have you? saw him or seen anything about him?
I don't think I know him. No.
He's a little nuts. Good guy. Classy guy. But one thing I don't like is now I have to send him to get the link to him. I got to send it by email, which is very annoying. So
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
can see
have
that.
to. I don't. It's just super fucking annoying. 1 second, okay?
No worries. I'll fill the time. So the Damer from Hull stuff earlier in the year was just an awesome few shows. Not for him, obviously, but content-wise. Kind of going through, the very fact he might owe these people money and stuff like that. I thought that was a good. I totally forgot about that till he mentioned that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. When talking about like the lowest, whoever had the lowest year, him or Pat Ford. I'm like, oh wow, that's right. And he's quietly kind of hidden in the background too.
Well, Dave has been around. I
like
think,
a little bit, at least around a little bit more though, right?
Yeah, he's kind of poking his head back. I mean, obviously he got whatever that situation was with. I'm not a gambler. The way Visionless Dave laid it out, it does seem suspicious. But I can understand because I grew up with a lot of Portuguese people and they're stubborn motherfuckers. So if he really didn't do it, he definitely wasn't going to supply that. It's saying, hey, if you don't trust me, I ain't going to fucking give you anything. And that's kind of like, I wasn't surprised that way, but I mean, the way he laid it out. But for him to be like, I'm just not doing any content anymore, he just sticks to it. It's commendable. I mean, he is a stubborn guy. I like him. I mean, we talked decent amount, and I would love to have him on. I don't think he'll ever. I'm pretty sure if he does go on, he'll probably be with Montante or something like that. So
yeah, you think he's done forever?
That's too bad. I mean, there's a show early in the probably maybe it's February-ish, or he was in there alone. Mike wasn't there. It was just him. He was actually like able to go in and just do a show with just him and Kirk, which is not easy.
Yeah.
You better be able to talk and bring stuff and bring it to the table. And for him to go from that to not even going on the show was sad because he's actually really good on the show. So
yeah, he was for sure. No, I always enjoyed his shows.
Yeah. Anything else you want to bring out and talk about?
Let's see. 3 hours, 12 minutes. Gus watch.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess he's still re-editing or whatever he's doing. I know nothing about it, so I'm not really sure. But I find it to be kind of funny that he doesn't have the shit ready. Like it's like how fucking hard could it possibly be? Like you have a show, right? I don't know, but maybe if I knew how to clip and do all that, I think I'd have a better sense of it. But you have a show, you really like it, you take the clips and you just label it, right? And just put them aside and then just put them together. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
No.
And that guy Duck's doing it, has no issues. So
yeah, and that guy probably wasn't posting those clips or cutting those clips prior. He just cut those clips right out of episodes, probably.
That's right. That's what he probably did, and he's actually put out 2 shows now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That which tells me I don't think Gus cut clips, or if he did, very minimally. And so that's what's taking him so long, is he's going back through trying to find best moments and clipping certain things. And
just a lazy guy, unfortunately. I mean, now he's working now. So
now with his work, apparently, but was just with this particular thing for sure. If he does get it out, it makes me wonder what's going to be in there. Because I remember last year it was like really, really long, and it wasn't even like the best moments of certain segments and stuff. It was just it was like random segments from like those best segments, but not even the best parts. So like, what are we actually going to get? Like if if he tags like the Mick and Justin fight or something, and we get just like the segment before where they're not fighting, I think that'd be pretty funny. That's the kind of stuff I'm expecting if it does come out, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, here comes here comes Justin and Mick fighting, and it's not even Justin and Mick fighting; it's Kirk talking to someone else. Who knows?
I saw Blind Mike put out a tweet that he was asked to do something for it, and then he never heard anything again. And it's so on brand for Gus, right?
Yeah, that's when I saw Mike's tweet about that. I was like, oh no! I was like, buckle your seatbelts. We're in for it. We're in for a wild ride. I can't wait till Kirk hears about it. So, if it even comes out.
You got any plans for New Year's? Anything exciting?
No, just a quiet night at home. I'm too old to be going out and doing that whole thing. But yeah, just a quiet night at home. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to Rhode Island. I'll be. I'll go out for a little
nice.
while. I'll be at
Nice.
Market Street Pub at 9:30. If anybody wants to come.
Yeah.
I know some people have been asking, so yeah, I'll be there. But yeah, it'll be an early night. New Year's was
Yeah.
never anything special for me. It's too cold, man. Usually,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, if it was in the summer, it'd probably be a much better night. But you know,
Yeah.
too old for that shit myself. So.
Yeah. I don't blame
Phil,
you.
we gotta get
Don't
you on
blame
again.
Not
You gotta
worth
get
it.
on some more shows, man. It's a bunch of shit going on. Get yourself in there.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. And again, if you want me on to talk about whatever, just let
I'll
me
have to
know.
bring you
And
on for
yeah,
3 on 3
I'm
down soon.
usually always available. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Just let me know.
Thank you, Phil. Have a great night. So now we're gonna add Brandon's coming in tonight. I'll let him kind of explain it more, but you're supposed to do a show on the I don't even know what network it is anymore. Luke McKay, who is a colossal piece of shit. So he got knocked off. I saw Luke in the chat making fun of him. So shitting on Luke is always fun. It's the end of the show. We're at the 50-minute point. So I'm gonna bring Brandon on and get his side of the story and see what he has to say. Welcome, Brandon. You're back again.
What's going on? Kane Train and Brandon back at it again.
What's
Dynamic
happening?
duo.
What are we doing? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm just a little disappointed is all,
Yeah, I heard. So why don't you bring us through it? You've been thinking of a show to do. Can I ask you a question? Why didn't you want to do the show on one of these networks? Why go with that dummy?
I would love to do a show on one of these networks. I was kind of just taking the first offer. I didn't even push for a show. I've just been popping in wherever I can. Everyone knows I'm a hand, an arm waver. It's part of who I am.
Sure.
I've been trying to tone it down lately because I was just begging different people to go on, doing whatever I can. So I just pop in because I've been talking with John from Scranton a little bit. Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been asking me to go on the Meeting of the Minds. So I went on it the other night, and then it's just like a love fest. Oh, Brandon's a star. Brandon's this. We got to make Brandon have his own show. Everyone in the chat, Brandon needs his own show, this and that. Oh, babbling with Brandon. And I'm like, okay, you start thinking your farts smell like roses at some point because everyone's pumping you up.
Sure.
And he asked me Friday, oh, you want to go on at 8? We'll do the first babbling with Brandon at 8. And I'm like, that's cool, whatever. He's like, oh, no, we're not going to be able to do it tonight. I'm like, all right, it's cool. So then he says, maybe Monday or Tuesday we'll do the first one. I'm like, all right, it's all good. Like, I'm not taking anything too serious, but it'd be kind of funny to have my own show and see what I can do. I've been a guest, but, and then tonight comes and all of a sudden I'm joking around in the chat and then I'm not in the chat anymore. I get booted from the chat and then I get told pretty much.
Who booted you?
I'm guessing Luke booted me, but
piece of shit, huh?
Yeah, I thought he was a good dude.
You did? Why'd you think that?
Generally, when he's sober, which isn't very often, I guess, but when he's sober, he's like pretty decent.
He's probably one of the worst people that's ever fucking walked the face of the earth. Honest to God. Like if he was in Hitler's shoes, he would have killed more Jews. That's the kind of fucking piece of shit you're dealing with. Why do you think that guy had your back? When are you gonna wake up?
I think I was just a little bit. I give people the benefit of the doubt.
Whatever they say in the chat, do the opposite. If the BA gives you advice, do the opposite. That's the way to go, and you'll be better off. Like those guys just want you to fail. That's the bottom line. They're busting your balls. Luke is a colossal piece of dog shit. Honest to God, for him to say you're going to go on the show today and then just pull the rug out from under you, that's Luke 101. He doesn't give a fuck. So So what do you have to say about him? Like, did you contact him and ask him why he's not letting you on?
Well, I just said, hey, did you boot me out of the group? Like, what's going on? And he said something about like we had other discussions with other members and maybe other people should have shows before you or something, or like, I don't know if he doesn't feel like I didn't earn it. It's like I wasn't really the one pushing for all this. I was just cool with like doing whatever content, just trying to be a part of everything. You know what I mean? Like I'm new to the world. I'm just trying to get my feet wet. So it just was like out of nowhere. Like we're fucking around. Brandon's hilarious. Brandon's a star, and then boom, yeah, kind of a rug pull. And then now he's messaging me earlier like, oh, I'm gonna do a lingering with Luke around at 8:30. I'll send you a link. Like what? Now I'm just gonna come on your little show after like. I don't know. I might sound like a prima donna, but
no, big mistake. You don't want to do that because now he's fucking shit all over you. And now he wants to bring you on, treat you like his fucking lap dog. So
like if he was just fucking with me to be a jerk, then that's fucked up. Like,
so he was doing that because he's a miserable fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking cunt. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have friends. His parents probably fucking hate him. This is the kind of guy that will fuck you over in 2 seconds and won't care. He is a miserable prick. If I were you, this is just in my opinion, you have an idea for a show, what you want to do? Do you kind of know what you want to do, or?
No, it just kind of came up randomly. I don't even have an idea. I just thought I can talk shit and be my stupid ass self, and maybe it'll be funny or whatever. Like,
yeah. So why don't you do this? You kind of think of an idea you want to do. I'll talk to Manners. I can produce it for you. We can just do it on StreamYard. I'll produce it for you. I don't be in the show. I'll just make sure I'm here for you to start it and end it, and then we'll put it up. I would think if Manners is all right with that, and if you're going to do your own show, I know he's kind of like, I'm not going to do content with you, which is fine. But if you want to do your own thing,
who's that? Manners I'll help you or you?
No, me. I'll help you produce the show. I'll just I'll talk to Manners first, make sure it's okay, and if he's okay with it, you can just put it up on this network, and I'd produce it for you, and just stay in the background, and then that's it. You do your own show. Bring on whoever you want. Do whatever you want. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say, hey, I'm gonna put you on the show, and then say no, I'm not gonna do it. Then say, hey, you can come on my show if you want. Nobody watches that show anyway. Who cares?
And it sucks because I like some of the guys there, and I like John, but like I can't. I was just trying to be a part of everything, and it was just a little bit fucked in my opinion. I'm cool with busting balls, and I like to fuck with you, fuck with Manners. Everyone's fucking around. Manners is kind of a shithead, but he means well enough, I guess.
Well, he's fucking around. There's guys in there that just aren't fucking around with you. Like they're not there to. That's just a miserable. It's a miserable chat in general. That's okay. That's their MO. That's what they strive for. They're not there thinking what's Brandon's best interest. There's no fucking chance. And Luke is literally the worst person ever to be on any platform anywhere ever. There's a guy who goes and takes people's brothers' obituaries and tries to talk about it and post it. This is the kind of person you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So just remember, over here, we would not fuck you. If you said, hey, I want to do a show on Tuesday at 8 o'clock or whatever, and Manners, we got the approval, I'll be here at 8 o'clock to put your show up. So that's all I can tell you. I know it's it's those guys, they're not there to really care about what your best interest is. So I'm sure Manners will be fine with it. Do your own show, it's perfect,
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to tell me what the offer is first, and then we'll go from there. But
what offer? It's not like an offer. I'm saying if you say, "Hey, I want to do a show," you have an idea. You have an idea for a show. You say, "I want to do
cash incentive."
Yeah, yeah. There's no money getting thrown around. But if you said, "Hey, I got a show I want to do," I say, "All right."
Yeah, I want to.
I'll go to Manners. I'll say, "Hey, he wants to do this show." It's obviously he's going to hear this, and then I go back to you and say, "All right, he approved it. He didn't or whatever." If he says, "All right, let's do it," you have your show. You say, "All right, I want to do it on Tuesday at 8 o'clock." I'll be there. I'll produce it for you. I'll get on StreamYard. I'll keep myself off. You do your show. When you're done, I'll stop recording it.
Why don't we bring his ass back in here and like friggin' Shark Tank this thing? Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
All right.
No big deal. We'll just talk to him. If you just want to do it, we'll just I'll send him a text, a DM, and we'll go from there. I'll get back to you. Yeah. There's no reason to worry with us. You know what I mean? I think it's when you're dealing with somebody like Luke, who I think was raised right. He's just such a fucking disappointment that his parents probably have disowned him, and it's just that's how his. God.
If that was done on purpose, then it's pretty fucked to get somebody's hopes up just to be like,
I'm telling you, for 100%, it was done on purpose. No question. That's how he is. This is how he is. I've dealt with him a decent amount now. I've tried to take the short. Jake, I feel like there is some kind of we can make some progress, and he's somewhat decent. Luke is a bad guy. you know. And when I see people actually supporting him, I know right then they're fucking bad people too. So I don't really. That's the kind of where I've had my beefs with those people. Not a big deal. They are what they are, but they don't have your best interest. And hey, look, Luke is he should be happy to have somebody go on that show. Make it fucking halfway decent, maybe a little better than it is. It is fucking dreadful, and he has about 16 networks. He can't make up his mind. Just a bum, a flat out fucking loser. So, you know,
well,
think about it. Have some kind of concept though, Brand. You don't want to go in with nothing. You want to have some kind of something, some kind of overview of what you want to do, and then we'll just put it on because Luke's going to put you on, and then you'll probably go in and cut you off, and it's never going to be your show. You know,
right.
This over here it would be.
So like, yeah, I mean, that's I greatly appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what would be the big deal. I mean, everybody goes on and does their own shows. It's, you know, there's plenty of shows that go on that don't even talk about KMS, right? So
maybe even maybe me, you, and Manners can be a throuple.
I don't think so.
Oh, really? God damn.
Manners doesn't want to work with you, so I don't know. You know, he's maybe he's just being a jokester, but I don't know. No, you know what you should do is try to bring on Jackson so you can get some life out of him. You know, that's a good idea to get him on because he needs like help.
He needs help for sure. That's one way to put it.
Sense of humor's gone. He was awful yesterday on that show. Like fucking just brutal on that show yesterday.
On the Aussie one?
Yeah, it was awful. And Jamie.
I watched a bit of it.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to get him to go, but he just can't. Tim is carrying the other show.
Did you talk about Fax's solo show? Another Fax solo show?
Yeah, that's come up about 10 times the past couple of days.
Yeah,
so. I like Fax. I'm not here to shit on him.
He's boring. He's boring, but I like him.
I just find it odd that he's taking their advice and running away. So, what are you gonna do? Yeah. Some people they can't sit here and take the flames. You know, I enjoy it. So I enjoy people being upset that you come on. Like, every time somebody's like, "I hope you die and don't go on the shows," I'm just gonna keep reappearing. You know?
Yeah,
that's me.
You get that a decent amount.
Oh yeah, a lot, but that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really worry about it. And so, anyway, Brent, I'm gonna get going. Any last words? Because I'm done here. I gotta get over to the girlfriend's house. It's getting late.
Yeah, you don't want to be in trouble.
I will be. Yeah.
So don't get too drunk tonight. That's all I'm saying,
I'm
buddy.
not drunk. No drinking tonight. Oh, I had a few beers. When I drink beer, that's not even like drinking, you know.
Well, thanks for having me on, and we'll be in contact. And Happy New Year, everybody.
Okay, and Brian, have a good one. Got anything else?
Fuck Luke.
There you go. Good job. Bye. All right, that'll be it. Have a great New Year. Be safe. Tomorrow I'll be at Market Street Pub at 9:30. If anybody wants to join, stop by. I'll be there. I'll chatter. People, call me out, whatever. I'll be in Laconia. And I'll be at Market Street Pub tomorrow. So have a good night, guys. Enjoy your New Year.